All right, moving on to the next location. Who doesn't like a nice freshwater stream? So I noticed when you talk to the average person about Catalina, you know, the biggest idea that they got in their head is that, you know, Catalina is an island that's in the middle of the ocean. So they're kind of thinking of, you know, saltwater ecosystems or just like ocean life and everything like that. But, you know, if you ever get a chance to come out into the interior, especially in the, you know, early spring, late winter, or after rains have passed through, you know, you could see some freshwater stuff out here too. This stream, I'm pretty sure, is more or less natural, and it's flowing right now, and I'm sure by the middle of the summer it's going to be dried up for sure. But, you know, we got a pretty good plant community here. Right here in front of me, we got this in the Juncaceae family. This is Juncus acutus. And it's called Juncus acutus because the tips right here are, you know, very acute. And yeah, they can stab you. Yeah, that's a classic wetland plant that can be found in many freshwater wetland ecosystems, maybe even bordering freshwater / brackish ecosystems and stuff like that. We got some introduced species right there. Focus, please. All right, right there we got Rumex crispus. I believe it is introduced from Europe or parts of the Mediterranean, unsurprisingly, since we are in a Mediterranean climate, even out here in Catalina. Right there in the background, that kind of bluish green stuff, that's Chenoplectus. I don't know exactly what species, but Chenoplectus is one of the most widely distributed wetland plants found throughout the entire world. Many different species inhabiting many different wetland types, from brackish to mostly freshwater. And then back there in the more upland areas, we got Baccharis salicifolia, asteraceae, which is more of an upland plant, still a wetland plant, still likes wet soils and everything, but it's more tolerant of drier upland slopes. Also another clue that this wetland, this freshwater stream system is more likely to dry up during the summer months. It doesn't stay wet. It's not what you call perennial. It doesn't stay wet for most of the year, only during the wet season. But yeah, I was looking at this spot and I noticed there's a lot going on in here. So I think we're going to take some time and focus on this spot right here. Okay, so right here, we're looking at this little spot of stagnant water right here. Water that doesn't have much current or flow going through it. You can see the bunch of snot grass or, you know, cyanobacteria that's kind of growing in this section. You know, if you ever come across something like this, just kind of sit down and just stare at it. And then you just notice things that you wouldn't notice at first glance. And right now, I noticed something that I'm about to capture and show to you. Hopefully you get an idea of what can be found in this type of microhabitat. Okay, here we go. Oh, I got it. I got it. Okay, there it is. Can you see that? So right here, we have an individual that is a beetle, actually. Now, I know what you might be thinking. That ain't no damn beetle. Well, I'm here to tell you that yes, it is, and it is in the family Hydrophilidae. That beetles are holometabolists, meaning that they have larvae that pupate and basically metamorphosize into their adult form, which is the classic beetle that most people are well aware of. And I think as adults, yeah, most of them are scavenging. Many of them are predatory. And just by looking at those mandibles right there, see how menacing those mandibles look? Ooh. Yeah, more than likely that this is a predator, and more than likely that these will predate upon, you know, anurin tadpoles. Anurins are frogs, and maybe other invertebrates that it can get those mandibles around. And those swimming legs, you notice that, you know, when they're moving them around, they're kind of almost like walking in the water. They have slightly natatorial legs, like not as natatorial as, you know, back swimmers or the adult forms of these. But, you know, it's kind of perfect for living in this kind of stagnant, kind of ponded environment, you know. Not enough current, so they don't really have to fight the current or anything like that. They can just stay there, kind of remaining still, and then some unlucky prey item kind of swims by, and then it uses those legs and those mandibles, just snatches it up and makes a meal for itself. Notice how it hangs upside down too. So it's got those siphons at the posterior end, those Circe-like segments right there, and those are meant to like trap air and catch air so it can breathe. Okay, this next specimen I probably don't have to actually catch and harass. Let me just zoom into it. I'm sure most of you have seen these before. But right here we have a member in the order Hemiptera. So this is the order of true bugs. And this is in the family Gerridae, which is the family of water striders. And I'm sure you've seen these before. Maybe when you were in school, if you had any sort of like, you know, biology lesson in elementary school. Or maybe you might even see it on TV, some sort of nature documentary that talks about insects. These are one of the highlighted organisms that they talk about because it's something special that they do. And they're very commonly observed no matter where you find, you know, freshwater ecosystems, especially in slow moving lentic habitats like this. But yeah, family Gerridae, the family of water striders. And you can see right there with its legs, its middle and hind legs. Oh, there's another one coming up. Oh, are they mating right now? Oh, look. Oh, they're copulating. Oh, there you go. You have a male and a female right now in copulation posture. But yeah, going back to the legs, see those legs, how they're touching the surface of the water right there. That's one of the lessons that are taught. They do not typically break the surface tension of the water, which allows them to kind of skate over it. On top of that, the cells on their feet, they're hydrophobic, so they actually repel water. So like it won't get stuck to the water essentially, and like, you know, they won't drown. And because of that, they've adapted a predatory lifestyle, and they can basically kind of skate around the surface of the water and catch any unlucky insect that doesn't have the ability to not break the water tension. You know, so any bees or anything or a spider or something like that might fall in the water, these are going to be the ones going after it and eating it. But yeah, if you look at those front legs, you can notice that they're not really using those legs to walk on the surface of the water. That's more so for the middle and hind legs. Those front legs are used for a different purposes. Since they are predatory, those front legs are actually raptorial in shape, and they're used to subdue prey, just like a praying mantis. Praying mantis has raptorial front legs. Even regiviids or assassin bugs have raptorial front legs. And those are basically helpful to, you know, strong arm your food, and grab your food and keep a hold of it so you can eat it. The same thing with these Gerrids. What's going on here? Am I interrupting something? It's a little love triangle. Somebody jealous? Somebody's a little greedy? Or hungry? I don't know. Oh, what's going on? Is he trying to eat them? No way. Oh, I see what they're doing. They're eating. Oh, yeah, there was a dead Gerrid right there. And I just interrupted it, but I think they were feeding on that. I think that's what was going on right there. But yeah, water striders, family Gerridae, order Hemiptera, true bugs, stylate, haustellate mouthparts. Okay, and before jumping into the nitty gritty, I want to focus on this individual right there. Oh, that's a good shot. All right, so that is an individual. Oh, motherfucker. Thank you. Anyway, it's in the order Odonata, which is the order of dragonflies and damselflies. And this is indeed a damselfly. And it is in the family Canagrionidae. I don't know if I said that right. Who cares? Yeah, it's in the family Canagrionidae, which is a family of damselflies, a very common family of damselflies. And I'm pretty confident that the genus that this is Argia. I don't know exactly what species. Apparently there are many species of Argia, but I'm pretty sure that this one right here is in the genus Argia. But yeah, these are little predators. They patrol the streams. They fly around, grab little flying insects and everything like that, chomp them up. Very successful predators. Dragonflies and damselflies, you know, they're very successful at catching food, like well over 90% successful, and it just flew away. Oh, thank you for coming back. So I guess that rock is its territory right there. Yeah, genus Argia, family Canagrionidae. Oh yeah, by the way, one of the main differences between dragonflies and damselflies is the way they hold their wings. You can see right there with this damselfly, which by the way is in the suborder Zygoptera. Dragonflies are in the order Anisoptera. But yeah, look at the way it holds its wings. See how it's like folded next to each other? Yeah, dragonflies, Anisopterans don't really do that. Dragonflies will have their wings just like kind of laid, splayed out and everything. All right, here we go. One of my favorite coleopteran species to look at when I come to nice, more or less pristine freshwater stream systems. They're wilding out right now because they're going crazy, like, oh shit, somebody just caught me. But yeah, so these are what's commonly known as whirligig beetles, because as you saw at the surface of the water, they were just kind of like whirligigging around. I guess that's just like, what is it called, like an onomatopoeia, a word that describes an action. Yeah, so these are whirligigging around, but the scientific name of their family is Gyrinidae, And gyrinity is actually more accurate. You know, they kind of just gyrate around the surface of the water and everything. Very unique characteristic to this species deals with their eyes. So, you know, insects have compound eyes, which is just basically an eye made up of hundreds, maybe even up to thousands of little eyes known as ommatidia. And within these species, those two eyes, or those two compound eyes, are actually split into four. But yeah, they swim around the surface of the water, and because those eyes are split, you know, they can see both above the water and below the water at the same time. And I always ask the question, you know, I wonder how, you know, their brain works, or their neural capabilities work with having to deal with input from both below and above the water. And I wonder if the ommatidia themselves are, you know, adapted to see light shining through a water medium versus an air medium and everything. I wonder if those questions have been answered. I should research this. Maybe I'll put a caption on this video to tell you. But you notice they can also swim underwater too. You know, they can use that to escape any predators that might be coming from above. And at the same time, you know, them being at the surface of the water, they might be able to notice any predators coming from below. And they got that kind of erratic movement to, you know, help juke out any would-be predator that might want to eat these. You can see right there, it's kind of carrying like an air bubble as it's swimming underneath the water. A lot of beetle species can do that. They can trap air underneath their elytra. Their elytra is another name for their shell, or their forewings. Their forewings have adapted and evolved into becoming that protective shell that most beetles have. And in this case, like many other aquatic beetle species, they can trap air under that, so they can stay underwater submerged for a decent period of time. I'm gonna get a nice slow-mo of this shot. Hold on. But yeah, nice stream nonetheless. Pretty cool seeing something like this. This is something I would expect to see in like in the mountains on the mainland. You know, not too many people think of freshwater streams, you know, running through Santa Catalina Island, but here we are. And you know, just like many other freshwater streams, good quality freshwater streams that you might find on the mainland, you know, you have a representative diversity. Oh, we got something. Got distracted. I found something. Hold on. All right, so I caught it. And here we go. All right, we actually got a vertebrate to talk about. Hey, wow, look how red its legs are. It's an amphibian, classless amphibians, you know, frogs, salamanders. This is in the order Anura, which is the order of frogs. And this, I believe, is Pseudacris hypochondriaca. It's a funny species name, apparently. I don't know why they call it that. It's in the family Hylidae, which is the family of tree frogs. And not all tree frogs live in trees, and specifically these species do not live in trees. A lot of the California tree frogs, they don't really live in trees. But you go down to South America and Central America, you do have tree frogs that live in trees. And one of their distinguishing characteristics are their toe pads right there. They're, you know, they kind of angle down, and that might help it getting a grip on things, essentially, especially for actual arboreal tree frogs. These guys have probably used those pads to grip onto, you know, plant vegetation and rocks and stuff like that. They all used to be one species too, Pseudacris regilla, but then due to phylogenetic evidence, they've been split, I think, into 3 or 4 species. You got the Baja tree frog, that's what this is, Pseudacris hypochondriacus. And then you have the Sierran tree frogs, Pseudacris sierri. And then there's another tree frog out there, at least one more. But yeah. Pseudacris hypochondriacus. Yeah. Biologyzing. Go in and learn something. Oh, look. There's another one hiding underneath the surface. I see you. See, look at this color morphology, too. Many individuals in this genus have a high variability of coloration. Yeah. Fresh water in the interior of Santa Catalina Island. Cali, baby. What's up? Okay, just real quick, I'm over here at this restaurant because I had to drop something off, and happened to come across this little thing right here. So this is Uda stansburiana in the Phrynosomatidae family, which is the family of spiny lizards. It's kind of sad that I caught him. He tried real hard to get away from me, but I got him. But a lot of the individuals of this species in particular that I saw on the island, they're pretty big, like, as opposed to the ones that are found on the mainland. By the way, this species can be found like all throughout the southwestern U.S. all throughout. If I didn't mention the common name, it is the western side blotch lizard because of that blotch right under there, underneath its front legs, like near where the armpit area is at. Wherever these are present, these basically act as a major food source for a plethora of other predatory animals, mainly birds and snakes and other lizards especially. You can see right here it's got its nice coloration, those blues and oranges and yellows. That's because it is the spring right now, and this is a time, you know, where most animals get busy in order to procreate for the next generation and everything. And you can see right here in its tail, you see how there's a clear demarcation between like spiny scales and not so spiny scales. That's a clue that this lizard was probably, there was an attempt of predation earlier in this lizard's life, and instead of making a meal out of this whole lizard, it only got to make a meal of the tail. So if you don't know, many individuals of the Lepidosauria, particularly the four-legged lizards, they have these tails that that are autonomous. And autonomy is the scientific word that just means, like, you know, letting go of one of your limbs or letting go of some body part in order to preserve the rest of it. A lot of insects do it. Actually, a lot of arthropods do it. And just like arthropods, they have the ability to grow those certain sections of their body back. I mean, if this lizard lost a leg, it probably wouldn't be able to grow the leg back. But what I was trying to say is that, you know, like a crab or something like that would lose a leg and easily grow it back. But yeah, Uda stansburiana, the western side blotch lizard, it's getting a little depressed. I should probably let it go. I don't know. Fight?
With another one?
Yeah.